This is Travis Wayne Goodsell. I'm doing a little quick video here about the uh, the terrorist bombings attempt today. It is uh, clear that they were all uh, Democrat supporters. You have two Democratic presidents, and Maxine Waters, a Democrat senator, but John Brennan, I think he was a Republican who just disapproved of Trump and had his security clearance removed by Trump. But of course, alt-right conservatives are apparently going all over the internet claiming a false flag attack, that it's all bogus and a trick by the Democrats to have sympathy for Democrats. That's not how terrorism functions. Terrorism functions specifically to intimidate and silence people. And America is not known as a nation that defies. We do underground defiance, but not open defiance. All our attempts to do open defiance have been suppressed by National Guard or other forces, SWAT, for example. Yeah, this to claim that this is caused by the Democrats is bogus. There are several things that I wanted to bring up. But when you have an incident like this, of course you want to look to the president to speak out against it. He sort of did. He didn't name names, but he did give an announcement saying that he was against the attacks. But he's giving a rally tonight. And of course the news is all wondering, what is he going to say at the rally? Will he still say that he's against the attacks, or is he going to go back to his lock her up and other name calling and trash talking of the press and Democrats, and the specific Democrats he trash talks who were targeted today? So that's one thing to watch for. But at the same time, that's a motive for these attacks. The last couple of weeks, we were getting news reports that Fox stopped televising Trump's rallies, and Trump got upset about that. And so then Fox again started televising his rallies, even at the expense of viewership. And so Trump also is not getting the attendance at his rallies. There have been reports showing that the camera angle that Trump press is doing is not the real number of people that are actually there and listening to Trump. So his numbers are falling, not just in viewership on TV, but at the actual events themselves. And so how do you drum up more viewers to watch your rallies? Well, as you can tell, you need to cause controversy to find out what Trump will say next, so that people will have an interest in what Trump will say next. And this was the perfect example of that. And so now everybody wants to know what Trump will say next at his rally today. And that's one thing to look for. The other thing I sort of brought up in the beginning, but this, as I said, is a scare tactic. We already have reports from numerous states about voter suppression. And this is just in line with scaring Democrats to keep them from voting, to silence Democrats, to not let their vote be heard, and thus keep them quiet in the election. Because that's what Democrats were pushing. As Trump is getting worse and needs to stop, Democrats are instead saying, let your voices be heard, people, in the vote. And I keep trying to tell people, no, we need to remove Trump now. We don't wait for an election. But Democrats wanted to wait for an election to swing the vote, so that Trump can be overturned with the Senate in the midterms, or the Congress. Hopefully Senate, but again, the problem is that Russia still has hacked our voting machines, and nothing has been done about it. The guy from Georgia who's running for governor, he personally helped Russia with the hack of his votes in his state. And now he's up to his old same shenanigans while running for governor. And he's getting caught and busted this time. But Russia still will alter and delete votes, just like they did in Georgia in 2016. And so, you know, the vote is going to be worthless. The midterms are going to be altered and in the favor of Republicans. That's just guaranteed. That's what happens when you have one party ruling the whole government. Okay, and then the next one is this is a distraction. This distracts from Trump talking about the caravan. He was exposed as lying yet again, as the news did fact checks. There are no MS-13 in the caravan. There are no Muslims in the caravan. There are no Middle Easterners in the caravan. Trump is just full of it, word after word, and his lies are now being tallied at a higher rate than ever before. So that's another thing, is Trump is a distractionist. He wants to distract from things. And there are other attacks, as Trump sees them, against him. Mueller is involved in interviewing by the grand jury Stone, Oliver, no, can't remember his name, but yeah, the guy that's claimed before the election that he had contacts with Assange, with WikiLeaks, and in giving the Clinton emails to Russia, and so he is now about to be exposed if the grand jury finds him guilty. And then you have Trump in his rally the other night, where he announces from the rally pulpit that he is a nationalist. And I am working on a video. It'll be all Trump quotes from Trump's mouth. It'll be an excellent video, one for the archives of everybody's library. So be looking for that. And so Trump wants to distract now from having said, I'm a nationalist. And so, yeah, Trump wants to distract. He's trying to do things and get away with things. Also, he gave Russia permission to use their new weapon system. Putin last Thursday was interviewed, and in the interview he says, we will be testing very soon our new weapons, our new missiles. And then that's also when he said that the United States is about to collapse and that Trump is in the palm of my hand as a puppet. And so, yeah, and then this week, Trump gives Russia permission to use those weapons as he takes the U.S. out of the nuclear arms deal with Russia. That's a backstory that Trump doesn't want out. He needs a distraction from that. And so, yeah, there's all those distractions. All right. Some other things that are involved. Putin, I noticed also in his interview, brought this up, and he says that Russia doesn't pull these kinds of stunts, but America has not been below that, or they have been below that. And it's the concept of purposely causing chaos and then having people step up who caused the chaos to then say they have the solution and will fix the crisis that they themselves were part of causing. And so that is something to look for here with these bombs, is that they were able to find a patsy who would promote a chaos situation, and that Trump will then say, I have the solution. So watch for that. And then finally, the other thing I've wanted to point out is that every time you have some kind of terrorist or shooting or killing, murdering incident, regardless of where and when and under which president's party or which party's president, you always have the situation where the news tries to help promote this as well, the concept of beefing up security over constitutional rights. And that is a very dangerous thing when these attacks are used for the purpose of destroying our Constitution and the rights that we are guaranteed in there. But we saw this with 9/11. Bush took advantage of America with the Patriot Act. He established the TSA for airports, Homeland Security with ICE. And so, we can't fall for that. We cannot fear to the extent where we will beg for our rights to be taken from us. We must have our rights. We cannot let them be taken from us, especially with a president who claims he's a nationalist. We cannot allow our rights to be taken, and Trump is taking them away. He's been doing it little by little and increasing it into more extremes this year. And so, yeah, be on the watch for that. With the media saying, oh, well, how do we beef up security at the post office? Because the Postal Service was involved in this. And so people are looking to find out, well, how did the mail get through the post office? Well, it's because they were weird, bulky packages that don't go through the machines. And so they don't have the stamps on them and so forth. These were people that knew what they were doing and were calculated and premeditated. These are dangerous people. Focus on that. Do not focus on boogeymen, as they're calling it in the news. Don't give in to fear. And so, yeah, I just wanted to let that information out. And then tomorrow I'll be working on the Christian concept of the last days Messiah. or the second coming of Christ, as they call it, which is a little misleading on the Christians' part, but that'll be tomorrow when I'll do that.